What up, guys? Welcome to Cage Side Connor. I am Connor. Today's video, I want to make a little card here. Our president Donald Trump has announced that the UFC will be visiting the White House in 2026, apparently, at some point. I don't know if this is real or not, but I kind of want to make a card that it will be the perfect card for the White House, perfect card for International Fight Week, the perfect card to go down on July 4th, America's 250th birthday. July 4th, 2026, that is. Okay, so, of course, this July 4th already passed. So next year's July 4th, which would line up with International Fight Week card, whatever, doesn't matter. I want to make the card. I want to put fights on here. That would be perfect for the White House. That would be perfect to celebrate America. And whether, however you feel about a UFC card happening at the White House is besides the point. I think it's kind of fun, personally. I don't know. America's a ridiculous country at the moment anyway, so whatever. Who the fuck cares? Let's just do it. Let's have fights at the White House. Fuck it. How fun will that be, you know? Our fucking president wants to have UFC fights at the White House. I mean, it's such a ridiculous statement. I feel like I'm living in Grand Theft Auto or some shit, but who cares? Doesn't matter. Let's just do it. Fuck it. I would go to this, honestly. It'd be a good fucking time. They said they somehow get 25,000 people in there or whatever, but I don't know. I guess they'd make arena in the fucking White House backyard. I don't know. Whatever. So the card I'm developing here is like, I'd imagine it'd be like kind of like those Brazil versus the world cards that we get once or twice a year, where it's just a bunch of fucking Brazilians in Brazil fighting anyone from everywhere, you know? I'd imagine it'd be one of those, but with Americans, you know, Americans just fighting off every other fucking country, I guess, since they all hate us anyway. So we just fucking, put a bunch of Americans against a bunch of Brits, against a bunch of Russian guys. Fuck it. It'll be a good time, be a fun card. And yeah, it's interesting right now because we're at a spot where, or a point in the sport where there are no American UFC champions except Kayla Harrison, but no male American UFC champions, which they would kind of want to headline this card. And now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't put a women's fight on here, but Kayla Harrison would have been a perfect fit for this card. I also considered putting like Cowboy Cerrone on. He's been teasing coming out of retirement for a while. It doesn't sound like the UFC's too keen on that idea, so I didn't actually end up going through with it. But I could see someone like him on there. What would be really fun is like, you get fucking Brian Stan and Tim Kennedy back, have them two fight. I don't know. I know they're like both pushing 50 nowadays, so that wouldn't make too much sense, but that'd be fun. I mean, who's more American than those two guys, you know? But anyways, guys, let's get into the full card. Before we do, though, I do want to remind you to subscribe to my channel over at Cage Side Counter on YouTube. You're probably already there now, so go down there and click that subscribe button. That'd be great. Thank you very much. Also, hit the thumbs up or whatever the fuck you're supposed to do. Thank you. All right, let's get into it now. So the first fight I am picking, holy shit, I clicked the wrong thing, doesn't matter. First fight I am picking to start off the main card at the UFC White House. There's a picture of Mel Gibson. Remember when he saved us? Mel Gibson. There he is. Anyways, doesn't matter. Continuing on, the first fight on the main card I want Kevin Holland versus Christian Leroy Duncan. You got to have Kevin Holland on this card if we're going to do it. Now, let me try to pitch for you how we get to this spot, because, of course, Christian Leroy Duncan, a middleweight. Kevin Holland kind of flips back and forth between welterweight and middleweight. He's at a really good streak at welterweight right now. But so this would be in July 2026. So I'd imagine at some point Kevin Holland's going to go back up to middleweight because he's going to lose a fight at welterweight, right? Within this meantime. I mean, Kevin Holland's probably going to fight like fucking 20 more times between now and then. That's how active this guy is. He has a fight scheduled with Daniel Rodriguez on the July pay-per-view right now. So we'll see how he does with that one. I'd imagine he wins that one, and then he's going to get someone very good, which is where we run into problems with Kevin Holland, because now he's going to be ranked. He already is ranked at welterweight. And so he's going to end up getting someone very highly ranked after this at welterweight, after the Daniel Rodriguez fight, should he win. And I'd imagine it's gonna be a wrestler, and he's gonna lose again, you know, at some point. That's just the Kevin Holland way. And then he goes back up to middleweight, racks off a couple fights, wins one, loses two, and then he drops back down to welterweight. And that's the cycle that we just rinse and repeat with Kevin Holland. So I'd imagine at this point in July 2026, Kevin Holland will be at his middleweight stage, and he'll be fighting a bunch of middleweights. Christian Leroy Duncan on like a 2-fight win streak right now. He's a very talented guy in the UFC. He's if you don't know him, he's more of a kickboxer. I think he has a taekwondo background, so he's very flashy on the feet. And this would be a fun fight. I think he would Christian Leroy Duncan would probably get a win in between now and then, maybe 2 wins even, and that would kind of set him up for something big and a bigger name like Kevin Holland. And I think this would be a fun fight. Be a fun fight to kick off the pay-per-view with at the White House, of course. And you got to get him on there. What did Kevin Holland say to Rampage? 45-70. You know, he got to bring a 45-70 to this White House card. We need it. Next fight, I'm picking Bo Nickel versus Bullet. Get a little America versus Russian action going here. Bo Nickel, of course, coming off that loss to Reiner de Ritter right now. Bullet coming off the loss to Michael Venom Page from earlier this year. Both currently have fights scheduled. Oh, no, excuse me. Bo Nickel does not currently have a fight schedule. Bullet does have a fight schedule for that awesome card in Saudi Arabia at the end. Oh, no, I believe it's in Abu Dhabi at the end of this month, at the end of July. So, yeah, how did we get here? I guess Bo Nickel picks up a win sometime in fall 2025, you know, against some random middleweight. And then I could see a world where he doesn't even fight again until July 2026. He's not the most active guy, but maybe he gets another one in between there. So maybe 2 fights between now and then for Bo Nickel. I guess it is an entire year away. So yeah, definitely 2 fights for Bo Nickel before that. I'd imagine he'd win them both, maybe win one, lose one. I don't know what the ceiling is with Bo Nickel anymore after the Reiner de Ritter loss. So I don't know, but this is just a fun fight. It's been talked about for a while now already. You know, these guys were 2 hot prospects at the middleweight division, so I think it'd be a fun one to put together here. Bullet, he's just gonna win a couple between now and then against random guys. I don't even know who he's fighting at the moment, at the top of my head, on that Abu Dhabi card at the end of this month. So yeah, I'd imagine we can get here though. We can get here. They could even both be ranked by this time again. Both be ranked by this time next year. I think it'd just be a fun fight to put together, and it's America versus Russia, the only one that would be on this main card at least, and it's a good time. And Bo Nickel's friends with Trump, so you gotta kind of have him on there or whatever. The next fight, I'm picking Joaquin Buckley versus Leon Edwards, another American versus European UK guy. This is a fun fight to put together. So how do we get to this one then? I'd imagine Joaquin Buckley gets at least 2 more fights in. Joaquin Buckley, very active. So I'd imagine he picks up a couple wins here. I'd imagine they'll give him someone either not ranked at all or just very lowly ranked in his next fight. I guess you kind of have to do like a 10 through 15 guy in the rankings. And then I think Leon, they're not... I know the rumor is putting him against Michael Morales. There's no fucking way Leon Edwards is accepting that fight. He's not accepting another great young grappler right now. There's no way. His management would be fucking retarded if they do that right now. So, yeah, I think Leon Edwards gets someone outside the rankings, someone that's a striker. And I think he'll end up winning that. I think Leon has had a tough go of it as of late. I'm not the biggest fan of his, but he's definitely had a tough lineup with Sean Brady, Bilal Muhammad, all that. Those are tough fights. Those are the best guys in the division. So I think they're gonna give him someone way down now. So yeah, and then I think he'll pick up 1 win between then, and Joaquin Buckley will pick up a couple wins, and then Joaquin will accept this fight because it's on the fucking White House card, and it's just a big fight in general. Leon Edwards, still a big name in this sport, so, and it's a good US versus UK fight. And I like it quite a bit. A stand-up affair. Although I suppose I could see Buckley wrestling in this one. But yeah, I think it's a good card to put on there. A good co-main event, whatever we call that third spot. This one I'm excited about. Aaron Pico versus Arnold Allen would be the co-main event on this White House card, and I'm predicting it to be for the UFC featherweight title. Now, how do we get there? You're probably thinking, oh, Connor, you're fucking crazy. Volkanovski's champ. There's no way Aaron Pico is even beating Mozart Evlov. I think Aaron Pico is beating Mozart Evlov. I think he's going to win that fight. I just think he's a very good grappler in his own right, and he's going to be able to fend off the takedowns enough or get his own takedowns against Evlov. And end up clipping him on the feet. I mean, Aaron Pico fucking hits hard. If you've never seen this kid fight, he just comes out like a wild man and just goes for it. So I think he's gonna get Evlov, if I'm being honest. And then I think he gets a title shot immediately after that, even off just 1 win in the UFC. I know that sounds crazy, but I think that's exactly what they're doing here. I think the UFC is very high on Aaron Pico. And I think they're just giving the title shot right away. Evidence is that clearly they're giving him Evlov right away, so they clearly like him quite a bit. And yeah, I think he'll get a title shot off that, and I think he'll be fighting Volkanovski sometime fall 2025, probably that December pay-per-view fight, I guess. And then I think he'll win. I do. I think he will beat Alexander Volkanovski. I know it's crazy, but I think Aaron Pico will be the UFC featherweight champion by the end of this year, thus setting him up for big 2026. Now Arnold Allen on a 2-fight win streak, maybe just one over that Giga Chikate win from earlier this year. Now, how do we get here? I'll be honest, I just like Arnold Allen a lot, so I just like to see him get a title shot. And it's another US versus UK fight, which I think would just be fun. I could have put Lerone Murphy here. Maybe Lerone Murphy is able to get a title shot within the next year, rack off a couple more wins, and then get in there. But I am predicting that Arnold Allen will fight Lerone Murphy towards the end of this year, towards the end of 2025, and then get one more in probably on the London card in March of 2026, and then get a title shot right after that. And that sets up a fun co-main event for this White House card that it would just be a good time. And I just like Arnold Allen a lot, so you know, and I want to see what's best for him, and I like Aaron Pico too, so this is a fun fight. This would be a good time. Why the fuck not? And then for the main event of the White House card, I'm doing it. I'm saying it. Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. I know. It seems like Jones is retired and he won't come back. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. I think he wants to wait for the right opportunity for Tom to get as big as possible before he'll do this, before he'll actually fight Tom. Or he wants to see if Tom will lose to Serial Gane, and then Jones can just say, oh, I'm the fucking best because I beat Gane and Gane beat Tom. I don't know how this is exactly going to go down, but I don't believe John Jones is legitimately retired. I don't think there's no hope for the Tom Aspinall fight. And I think this White House thing could be the incentive John Jones needs to come back to the sport and come back and actually fight Tom. And God, this would just be the perfect headline for this card, would it not? I mean, US versus UK again. America's 250th birthday. Have US potentially beat the UK again? I don't know. It rhymes to me. You know, it makes sense. Why not? Let's just fucking do it. So how do we get here? I'd imagine Tom Aspinall fights Serial Gane sometime later this year, sometime this fall. Probably October-ish is what they're looking at. Maybe that Abu Dhabi pay-per-view at the end of the year. Maybe the December pay-per-view. And he's saying he wants to rattle off a few more. So I'd imagine he fights Jailton Almeida too between now and then. So I'd imagine, and I think he wins both of those, to be fair. So I think Tom will beat Serial Gane and Jailton Almeida between then. John obviously won't fight between now and then, and then that will entice John enough to come back and fight Tom. Tom will be a huge name. He will then have won the multiple titles that he was asking for Tom to have unfairly throughout this whole time. And then, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't the UFC set this up? I mean, it would be a huge fight, and just at the White House, I mean, it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell fucking pay-per-views. That's what this will do. So let's do it. Let's just do it, man. Let's get John Jones excited. If I'm Hunter Campbell, I'm getting John Jones on the phone right now and telling him this is the plan. Why not? It'd be a good time. Yeah, I don't know if it'll actually happen, but I'm hopeful. I am hopeful. I want this fight so bad. I think the whole MMA community wants this fight so bad, and we need it. We just need it. So here's the whole main card that I'm putting out. It will line up with UFC 330. That will be next International Fight Week. I think by my calculations, that's what I was going with. So the main event, Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. Co-main, Aaron Pico versus Arnold Allen for the featherweight title. Third fight, you got Joaquin Belkey versus Leon Edwards. Fourth fight, Bo Nickal versus Shar Bullet. And then to open the main card, Kevin Holland versus Christian Leroy Duncan. I think it'd be a good time, you know? We'll all crack open some Mountain Dews, eat some Pop-Tarts, whatever fucking other American snacks you want. And we'll all have a good time watching this, you know? Now, will this actually happen? Probably fucking not. I don't even... It'll probably be a fucking fight night too if they actually do something like this. But I don't know. You know, Dana went all out with the Sphere, and it's like, okay, it'd be cool if you could go all out with this too. Obviously, it wouldn't be the spectacle that is. They'd have to build an arena and all that. I know people are imagining like the White House will be in the background while they're fighting. That's not going to happen. But I think it'll be a good time nonetheless. Let's do it. Go America. All right, guys. Make sure to click on the rest of my videos while you're here. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel as well. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.